In this video, I'll be talking about collecting the data from optional using collectors. I've written an article on my blog itself on justamonet.com, and I will link this particular link in the show notes. First of all, let us try to understand what is an optional. An optional is a type where it can contain a value or it may not, which means that it can either contain 0 or 1 element in it. If optional was a collection, then it would have been an empty collection or a singleton collection. Once we have some value in our optional type and we want to get that value out and we want to return it as a type of a collection like singleton collection, collections.singleton list or singleton set or something else. How can we do that? First of all, let us take a look at toList method. How can we get the value out of optional and convert it into a singleton list? One way to do that would be to check whether the value in optional is present using isPresent method, and if it is present then we return singleton collection, else we return empty list. But optional already provides us with those kind of functionality, and that is what is done over here. Assume that you are getting an optional type in a parameter, and you can say that optional type dot map collections.singleton list. So this collections.singleton list will be created if and only if a value exists in an optional. If it does not exist, then it will go ahead and create an empty list. See the method, or else get collections.empty list. Optional.map collections.singleton list if the value is present, or else get me the empty list. And you can call this method like this: toList optional of optional.off, or some method that returns an optional, and the value that will get generated from this toList method will be list of string. And the list of string is because we are passing optional.off string and we are expecting it to be converted into list of string. Now you may also want to convert it into a map or a set. You can do the same thing. You can just get the optional and map it and provide the behavior that you want when a value is present, and provide a behavior in case the value is not present. But how many methods will we create like this? There is a serious drawback. You can write toList, toMap, toSet, and host of different methods. Let us think about this. Collectors class in Java 8 already provides us with this functionality. How can we use it? The way to do it is collect. You can get optional in parameter and you can have a collector in a different parameter. How to use this collector? What we have to do is we have to understand what this collector of type T, A, and R mean. T means collector of input type T. This is T. A means accumulator type, which means a mutable accumulator may be array list, hash map, hash set, linked list, or something. And R is the result type. Let us see how we can use this collector interface. Let us just directly take a look at this code segment itself. You will be getting optional as parameter and collector as a parameter. And first thing to do it is get the accumulator A. A is your accumulator. It can be of any type A. You get that accumulator, and if value is present, then you tell your accumulator to go ahead and insert this value into this A, which is an mutable result container, some form of mutable result container, something like array list or hash map or something like that. So that value will be inserted into A, and at the end of your containment, that is once the value is inserted into the container, you apply some finisher function. Let us see how we can use this particular method. Assume that this collect method exists and we are calling it from here collect with optional and toList. Now remember, this toList is from collectors class, which is provided in .util.stream package. It will be collectors.toList. It just goes over here, this collect method, and it gets converted to list. To unmodifiable list. Over here we are using complex collector called as collectingAndThen, where this collector accepts toList as a collector, and this is a finisher function, which means this collector.finisher will get invoked, which means that Once you are done collecting into the list, go ahead and do something like this, which means that this list will be converted into unmodifiable list. Same thing with set and collecting and then to unmodifiable set, to map and collecting and then to unmodifiable map. Now as we are using collector over here, you can go ahead and use collectors.toCollection and collect it into linked list or array deck or some other form of collector. Video on how to collect the data from optional using collectors